What is going on, everyone? My name is Jared Haas, and welcome back to another edition of NASCAR Mailbox. This weekend, we will dive into the questions after the race at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Well, I was at Homestead-Miami Speedway this weekend, and I think the talked about battle was Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin on the restart. And with those drivers going side by side into turn 1 and 2 and then into turn 3 and 4, Christopher Bell was able to take advantage of that and was able to get to that win, was able to win the race. And that got my thought process thinking, this is a crab in the bucket mentality. As it goes, you know, if I can't get up there, nobody else's can. Because when you have crabs in a bucket, they'll claw and try to get out of the bucket, but the other crabs will weigh them down. And I think that's the same philosophy that happens sometimes with drivers, because if you're racing side by side and trying to drag each other down with the aerodynamics that's going on, Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney were losing momentum and speed going side by side. Do I think that somewhere that Hamlin could have maybe stayed a little bit farther back, let Blaney get the lead? I think that possibly so. But Hamlin's obviously competing for a win, and he doesn't want to give up any inch on the racetrack. Is this going to hurt Denny Hamlin in the long run? He's already made his dent as is. I don't think this is as bad as the reaction that people were getting after Pocono. It's just Hamlin racing hard and realizing what's at stake. And at stake was a ticket to the Championship 4, where Hamlin lost out by a couple points last year by the Hail Malin. So I don't think this event where Blaney called him a hack, Hamlin ceased to differ that that move wasn't a hack move, but it's the racing that we have with the sliding glides. If you had that half car length, you're going to slide up there and try to glide away from that other driver. It's just the way that racing is and how it's built. Because with the system that we have, the winners can sit comfortably at Martinsville, not have to worry about a dang thing. But if you perform well and consistent, it's not your best shot to get into the Championship 4. It's almost a must-win mentality. And that's what's going on with the crab in the buckets there. And I don't think it's really hurt much as other drivers, considering the fact that we're right there. But guess what? You know, always going to come back to bite you. You know, Blaney was still working hard, and guess what? Both of those drivers, they didn't get their ticket punch. It was Christopher Bell, who didn't really do the crab in the bucket mentality on that restart. And this question comes from MLG Pro Swag 69. They say, how many more years until they repave Homestead? In the last 6 years or so, since Logano's Cup title, it's really started to feel like the new 2010s Atlanta, while it's fun for drivers and called multi-groove by the media. The races get strung out, and there's only one line that everyone runs once the restart is settled. I think this is something where with it, Homestead, one of the oldest track surfaces on the schedule now that Auto Club Speedway is going to be no more. This was repaved for the 2003 race and hasn't been repaved since. And as I aforementioned, older pavement, you really get to see the driver skill come out. Because when there's new pavement, there's a lot more grip. The sun hasn't beat down on that yet. You haven't had sand and grit that happens at Darlington Raceway hit that track yet, so you're able to carry a lot more speed into that with new tracks, and that's why I think fans are appreciative of those old type of surfaces. I think Homestead's not in the plans yet to repave. That'd be somewhere down the line if there's surface issues with the actual surface, like cracks showing up, but the surface has held up well for 20 years. So it might be maybe 5 to 10 years down the road. I don't see an immediate need for a repave, but I think as the surface age, they're going to realize, I think it just might be time. They usually repave tracks on longer and about 30 years. So I think this is going to be 5 to 10 years for repave, but I don't expect an immediate future. I think it's really enjoyable that older surfaces, track surfaces, show who the best driver is at the track. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like and subscribe. That really helps out our channel out. And as always, make sure to have a great race weekend.
This is Blaine Perkins, driver of the number 9 Raceline Wheels CR7 Motorsports Chevy. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out one of those 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.